All right, guys, let's connect it up. Welcome, everybody. Can't type today. Come on. Got a little live stream for you. Going to talk about some different topics. Went a minute early, starting at 12:59, but I'll go for an hour. Today is January 13th, 2019. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things for Walking Dead, Game of Thrones a little bit, and obviously spoiler warning if you're watching it on the replay. I don't know what people are going to ask, what people are going to talk about, and there's a lot of big things happening in The Walking Dead because we're 4 weeks away from the return of The Walking Dead, and I'm excited to see what happens this back half of season 9. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. You can tell by the thumbnail, there's a lot of good stuff happening. Even in the little teaser trailer, some people aren't sure if it's a trailer that's going to be used as footage or if it's just promotional stuff. But yeah. Yep, Epic Zombie Killer, The Walking Dead got renewed for season 10. And before I had to say like, oh, it's not confirmed that it happened, but we all knew it was going to happen. Season 9 is awesome. Season 10, they got a bunch of stuff happening for that. Is Andrew Lincoln going to return as a director actually? And what's going to happen for season 10? Whisper of War, spin-offs, movies. If you're going to have movies, you got to have seasons for that, right? I mean, you have to connect with the show and the movies for that. And season 10, I would be surprised if we don't get at least 11, 12 seasons. Because of the movie connection. If they're going to have movies, they should connect at some point with the show, right? And I was thinking about this because I'm like, what are we going to talk about today? Why couldn't they do a spinoff of the Whispers before they meet Jesus, Daryl, Aaron, and the crazy things there too, right? That would be kind of cool if they did that. And because like spinoffs, this, that, I think a spinoff of the Whispers, how they started, how they came about, because we really don't really know that. Where did Alpha come from? Beta, we know some from the comic, but what's really going on there? What happened with that? Where's Alpha? What's Alpha's real name? Where's Alpha's husband or, Lydia's father? What happened with that whole situation, Do we know a lot of that stuff? Maybe some people do. I don't remember offhand, but I would love to see that as a spinoff. But like I said, 4 weeks away from The Walking Dead returning February 10th, 2019. I'm excited, and I'm excited for what happens. So I want to know what happens for that. Yeah. Tudor, well, they don't have to have a spinoff for people to like them. It just can give some backstory. It could be, a 4-episode thing, and then we maybe had a 4-episode Negan or something. They could do something like that too. I would personally like to watch that more than a lot of episodes of Fear the Walking Dead personally, but I don't know if we're ever going to get that. So that was just a theory, just something that popped into my head. I love talking about The Walking Dead, and that's why you guys are joining me here. So what's going on with you guys? Post your comments, questions on there too. Super chat, top chat, all that stuff. Always welcome. Patreon peeps in the house. I got to do a little talking about my book series for sure. I am on chapter 3 of the final edit. So I read it, my wife read it. I'm going to read it again, and we're wrapping it up. So I'll have it out by February before the cruise, book 9, and I'm excited for it on there as well. I don't know if you're reading the books, if you're interested in the books, if you don't care about them, but they are my baby. They are my thing. Just like Robert Kirkman's comic is his baby. I think he has more say, more go, more just development process with the comic than the show. And Robert Kirkman's comic, the baby, is for sure of his. Won't Fight for Us books, novels, not graphic novels, just novels, trying to work on some graphic stuff and some pictures for it down the road. But we're getting there, guys. I'm excited for it. It's definitely awesome. Some major things happen in this book that will change the dynamic of the series going down there for sure. So I'm excited for the future of this channel, The Walking Dead, and a little bit of Fear the Walking Dead. Last time we talked about it, that Fear the Walking Dead is one of those things that people like, a lot of people don't like, but with the addition of a couple characters from The Walking Dead, can it be great? Don't know much about the filming, the must process on there too. I don't know what's going to happen this season of Fear the Walking Dead. How's it going to connect? Time jumps, all that stuff. But I would think there's got to be a time jump, right? If the timeline wants to be somewhat similar to it, they have to at least have a year and a half time jump because of the season 8 to season 9 when Morgan was there. And I don't know what's going to happen with that series, but it's kind of a fill the gap kind of series for me. But either way, The Walking Dead is why people are here. I got to put a disclaimer out because Game of Thrones is coming back in April. Tonight, we should find out, is what HBO is saying, when Game of Thrones will return, which Sunday in April. And I started doing the math because I'm sure that, not the math, I guess just the calendar. When could Game of Thrones come back? Because The Walking Dead comes back February 10th. So you're going to have 3 in February, and then there's actually 5 Sundays in March that The Walking Dead can be on. So any Sunday in April, Game of Thrones can come back. So it's the 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th. I would think around the 14th makes sense because it's, January 13th now, and it'll be 3 months away. So I'm sure they're really smart with it when they want to bring it out, because you wouldn't want to have The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones on Sundays to be the same time. It just doesn't make sense for that to be, fighting each other. So after the Super Bowl, you get The Walking Dead back on and all that stuff too. So, Chris, are you going to watch the new series tomorrow? What do you mean new series? Which new series are we talking about? I'm not sure of anything that I'm really going to watch too much. I mean, I don't really know too much of, what's coming on. There's not really much on right now. I mean, I watch a couple shows, like I watch The Gifted on Tuesdays, and that's really kind of it. Been watching football because it's the playoffs. But let me know, Chris, what you're talking about, which one there. Tudor, Q&A, Brian, if the spoilers are true, what if Carol and Zeke will adopt that baby, find some closure after the war since they are about living in the moment? Yeah, I don't know. I know that, Connie's going to rescue the baby from the Whisperers. And then is that baby going to stay at Hilltop? Who's going to raise the baby? Who's going to do this? And I'm not sure if Carol is good to have Carol with a baby, because I just don't know if that's kind of her arc. Her story is that she has problems with children, surrogate children, adopted children, whatever you would like to call it. But it's like, that's kind of her story, is that she gets close to people and then people die. Love interest, children, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing to have. But my question is, why is a Whisper just walking around with a baby among their group there too? And how did walkers not just come and devour the baby? Did they put a little baby walker skin on it? Like, what does that happen with that? I don't know. We'll just see if that's just a little far-fetched. The Whispers are actually far-fetched too, because it would take a meat poncho of walker guts and blood on someone to do that. These are supposed to be cleaned out and, tanning the hide. I'll never forget, the person who told me that the skins aren't really going to smell anymore, I would assume, right? So why wouldn't they, like, if someone has bad BO and they stink, they're going to go through their clothes, right? It's going to stink through it. You're not just like, oh, I have clothes on, I smell okay. But if people don't shower, they're going to smell. The Whisperers, they don't have some community where they got walls and showers and all this stuff too. So if you think about it, the Whisperers are kind of far-fetched as a thing. But it's just a funny thing to think about. If you're trying to rationalize a zombie apocalypse, then it's kind of be tough, because there is no such thing as a zombie apocalypse. And if it would be, I don't think it would happen this way. We would be pretty much eradicated very quickly if there was a zombie apocalypse, in my eyes. From the research that I'm doing for the book process on there too, it wouldn't give us hope for that to actually last a zombie apocalypse, even though it's this and the shows and, it's all not a realistic thing. It's just science fiction and fiction. It's a fictional tale, that's why it's fun. But to me, it's a survival aspect. I'm afraid that we just wouldn't last long, and that's just what makes sense. But from a survival aspect, the human ability and human nature and hope would fight for that too. We would work on there as well too. So, Gadget Guru, I don't really play the Telltale games, so I'm not going to talk about them and comment on them too. I played the first one, not a big fan of that, where you have to choose your path and this and that. I'm excited for Days Gone, Resident Evil 2 remake, stuff like that, open world concept. That's what I'm excited for. I don't really care about Telltale game stuff. Hubba Bubba Bear, another 10-year time jump. LOL, just kidding. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get another 10-year time jump. I don't think we're going to get another big time jump anymore. We're probably going to go back in time to see what happened over that more than anything. So I don't know if that's going to happen. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Chris, The Passage with Mark Paul Gosselaar. Zach Morris. I'm probably going to watch that. Thanks for bringing that up, because a lot of times the cable box just sits there idle now, because unless it's football or The Gifted on Fox on Tuesdays, we watch Empire on Wednesdays, but that comes back in March. Thursday was Jersey Shore and stupid shows like that. Friday was something on Netflix or something. So The Passage, thank you for bringing that up. I'm definitely going to watch that because I'm interested to see what happens there. And I do like Mark Paul Gosselaar for sure. And I think it's interesting. I want to see what happens for that. Boyd Q&A, do you think Troy will kill Charlie when he finds out that she killed Nick? I don't know what's going to happen with Troy. That's a great question, Boyd. I don't know. People are bringing up how, when, why is Troy coming back? We don't know. Did he actually survive getting hit in the face with a hammer? Boom! I just don't see that being there too. And if you're really going to bring that character around, that's not a flashback or a movie type of scenario, cassette interview. I don't know how Althea got that interview, but is it going to be cheesy? I think so. Would he survive? Possibly, but we'll see what they want to do. Bringing back Troy, I don't know. I'd rather see Walker, Crazy Dog, and Daniel Salazar come around more than I would rather see Troy. That's for sure. Gamma, who is playing today? Anyone? There's 2 football games, the Patriots and Chargers, and then the Saints and the Eagles. So we'll see what happens. Big games yesterday, big things going forward. What you got here for me? Hey, Bri, did you see the new Punisher Season 2 trailer? Yes, I did. And I'm a big Jon Bernthal fan. I know some people in here do not like him. I think that the Jon Bernthal interview, people met him at conventions and didn't like him, and some people liked him at conventions. And, it's all relative, too. I don't know the circumstances. I've had nothing but good things with Jon Bernthal. I met him on the Walker Stalker Cruise last year, and it was pretty awesome. It was a great experience. Him and Alana Masterson were great. Had nothing but great things to say about both of them people. And the Punisher, to me, looks great. And I really hope 2 things. I hope the villain, I wish the villain looked better. I wish he had more scratches on his face. I mean, he was smashed in that mirror several times and just kind of drug up and down. So maybe plastic surgery is great in this world or whatever, but they didn't want to make the villain look too crazy. And we'll see what happens. But the Punisher being, a tough guy and being a badass is what we want to see. I think Jon Bernthal actually broke his hand or injured his hand at least. And thank you, boy, Jigsaw. I couldn't remember his name. I didn't want to say the wrong name. So, yeah, Jigsaw doesn't look right. He's supposed to be more ripped up in the face. And I know some comic fans are like, he does not look like the comic villain. But I do like the story. And I know that the Punisher is very broken, and he's upset about his family and his this, and they were killed and everything. But we saw it way too many times in the first season, and I have to just give my opinion with that. Some people may agree, they may not, but I'm like, man, it's just one of those things where you're like, all right, we get it that he sees his wife every time, and it comes in, boom, every time, boom. It was like almost every episode that happened, and we're like, all right, we got it. Hopefully we can get past that, and we're going to get more of the, action type of guy. And I liked the first season. Towards the end of it, it was a little slow, but it got better. And I really liked the Punisher in Daredevil season 2. I actually didn't watch Daredevil season 3. I don't know if people want to see that or not, because I'm excited if it was going to continue, but it's canceled and it's done, and don't know if there's going to be a season 4, if someone else is going to pick it up, or if it's going on Disney Plus, or what's going to happen with that. But Jon Bernthal, Punisher, I'm excited. Comes out next Friday. Be there, be square. But I'm excited to see where it is. So I know some people like the character and the actor, but some people don't. But I'm excited for February. I'm kind of over January already. I mean, The Walking Dead returns in 4 weeks. Then you got the cruise for the Walker Stalkers. Then you got Captain Marvel in March. Avengers Infinity War in April. And it's kind of like, we're going there too, you know? I'm just crazy to think that it's one of those things that I'm excited for the rest of the year. Not so much January. It's like, hurry up, January, because this year is so entertaining, theoretically, on paper. I got at least 8 movies I want to see. They start in March, April, June, July, December, you know, all these different crazy things. And I'm excited to see what happens later this year. Latest, the big stuff with the book series and the you know, YouTube channel and everything there too. So I'm excited for everything to happen going accordingly on there, and hopefully you guys will be along for the ride. Tudor Q&A, you think that Daryl deserves the hate he gets since he's TWD or with the family? I personally think he's great to have an anti-hero type of character on the good side because that's what Daryl is. I don't know, Tudor, if Daryl gets like all the hate. A lot of people love Daryl. I would think that, I don't know, what Norman Reedus gets, from the fans, but I know at conventions, that guy's panels, that guy's booths are packed. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus are the new big names in the convention world of Walker Stalker. And if he wasn't that big, if people didn't love him, people wouldn't go there too. I guess people could go to hate him, but that would be stupid. Like, you would really go pay money to go meet him and yell at him or something like that too. It's like, come on, that was just really dumb. But ultimately, Daryl Dixon is a character that will be on the show for a long, long time. Carol will be on the show, and Michonne should be there for a while. And there's been reports that Michonne is actually the bigger person in the eyes of The Walking Dead. But I think Daryl is just up there on the show because he is the Daryl. He is the character just for the show, and we have to have characters like that. He does a lot of big things. I personally like Daryl. He's done some stupid things, but, I would have changed a little bit here and there, but he's a human being. He's a man of action. He's supposed to be more evil and dark this side, and we'll see what happens. But I really hope he doesn't have another decision like in season 6, end of season 6, start of season 7, where he was going rogue and his decisions got people killed. Like Rosita's decisions got people captured and killed. Same thing with that. We don't need to see that anymore. We got it. We understand that Daryl makes decisions and sometimes they're not the best, but hopefully his decisions aren't going to be that way. Is it going to be something that will be debated? For sure. Some people love Daryl. Some people hate him, but I think more people love him than hate him. Chris, how about the movie Glass? That actually looks good. I like the movie Glass, but I just don't know how big it's going to be of a movie because I do like M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable and Split. It's filmed in Philadelphia, I believe, at least the first, a lot of his movies are filmed in Pennsylvania, and I know right around that city. I grew up going there. It's the biggest city where I used to live, and I like the idea of that having some closure in that series, and it's kind of cool that we're going to have like a superhero kind of vibe to it, but Glass is something that's pretty cool, for sure. Epic Zombie Killer. Dude, guys, always says that as an actor, you are forced to read the lines of dialogue that you get. Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't dialogue, it was action. Daryl doesn't have a lot of dialogue. Daryl kind of has the least dialogue of all the big characters. Rick has probably had the most, and Michonne and Carol and Maggie, they've had a lot of dialogue. Daryl's like, I'm going to look at you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm Daryl. I need a shower. Daryl. But Daryl is something that is a character that will be around for a long time, and he needs to have redeemed qualities, just like Negan does as well, if they're going to keep him around for sure. So, yeah, boy, I'd pay $50 to tell the Fear the Walking Dead and Gimple. Yeah, that's why Gimple's not going to be doing conventions because he would get a lot of hate on there too. But that would kind of suck if people went to a convention. Like, there's people that go to conventions that are not always the biggest characters. Like, there's people that people don't always like the governor. Some people hate the governor, but some people go over to him and they're nice and they're like, man, I love to hate you. But they're like nice and respectful. Like, again, it's actors. A lot of the people that play terrible people on shows, that they're really nice people too. And I really feel bad for Josh McDermott because he closed off all of his social media because of the fans, because of the haters. They were like, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did that. Well, Eugene saved the day. If Eugene didn't sabotage the guns, then Rick and the crew would have been blown away in the field. And that would have been gone to that. And we wouldn't have to deal with any of that. But Eugene did this, and he didn't leave on his own. It's just a mess. But people were giving him death threats on that crap, and that's just messed up. On Instagram, too. Like, people are such internet idiots, Instagram idiots, and they love to attack everybody, and they've even come to me against me, and I'm a nobody in this world. I can imagine what people do, and I haven't seen the movie that was on Netflix, and It's the one actor that's part of that movie. I forget what it's called, but it's the one that you can pick your path or whatever like that too. And he was getting all this hate on Instagram and social media from people that he had to, decompress, shut all that down and move away. And you're like, man, that's crazy. That is ridiculous, That's just ridiculous that he is playing a role in a movie, in a part, in a show that you don't like, but you're going to bring that over to that guy. Man, separate the person, the actor, the part from the actor. That's ridiculous. My gosh. I guess that's why you got to play like awesome, heroic people so that people will love you, The best example of that is the person who played Joffrey on Game of Thrones. Terrible character, terrible person. Well, not the actor was actually really nice. He was a young kid. He was like a teenager, and he gave up acting since then. But he was playing a part. He's probably a nice human being and hopefully a nice guy and all that stuff too. But Joffrey was terrible, and probably people were coming up to him all the time, saying this and saying all that as well. So, just crazy stuff. So, Renee, sorry, I just saw your question. Hey, Brian, Angus Samson is awesome, and he's confirmed to be in 9B. He's the guy glaring at Jerry in the Hair Whisperer, Highwayman. Yeah, I guess that's the guy, Angus Samson. I know he's in a couple different things, and I'm not the best for what some of the smaller actors are in, but Angus Samson is definitely supposed to be the Highwayman, rumored to be named Oscar, but I know we had an Oscar before, and there's no other person in the world that could be named Daryl, Rick, this. There could never be another Carol ever, so don't do it. But, I guess for continuity, you can't really have people like that. But again, he's rumored to be named Oscar, even though he had Oscar at the prison. So, Hector, what about me? I'm not even one eyebrow, and I get picked on all the time on the PT Instagram page. Hector, I wouldn't say all the time. It was just recently with the whole thing with the pictures from the teaser breakdown and all that stuff that I put on there. And it's just like, I don't know if... you're usually okay with that, but people want to fight about everything. They're tired and like, you're going to listen to me. I'm going to tell you. Poison, have I been recognized in public? Yes, I have. I've been recognized in stores and shops around where I live, and also in conventions for sure. It was a little crazy the first time, but I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's one of those things that it's definitely a cool thing to do that. A little taken back because, again, I'm just a regular dude. Just a physical therapy and, just physical therapist and just being a person like that too. And I got noticed for that as well when I'm out and about. People remember, hey, thanks for fixing my shoulder and helping this and helping my back. So you're like, definitely more noticed for physical therapy stuff around the where I live. But, it's pretty cool. Meek says, loves the channel. You always have great insight. Thank you. Meek says, I appreciate it as well. Mark Simmons, is it bad that I haven't seen Game of Thrones? Well, it's not bad, but I recommend it. It's even better. My wife and I, we just went back to watch Game of Thrones because it's coming back in April. And it's so much better now that I know the names, I know the people, I know the foreshadowing. I can see how they set things up. And it's just good writing, good storytelling for sure. And I'm like, man, it's great. So Cameron Main, I love the channel. I just subbed. Thank you. Thank you for people that support the channel. Just subbing is a good way to support the channel for sure. Chris, do you think Heath will be back as a Whisperer this season? Well, there's kind of some things like... I don't know. I don't know if Heath's going to come back because is he connected with the PPP card and it's whispering? Is he going to be in the movies? Is he going to be there? Because I talk about it in a video and people are like, Heath could come back. Heath's not coming back. No way this has happened. No way is that. Well, it's just one of those things where I'm excited to see the future of it. And a lot of my videos, pretty much all of my videos, are always discussion videos. If I bring something up, it's for discussion and something to talk about. And people get so mad, like, how could you bring up that Rick may come back? That is stupid. You're stupid. Well, you're like, relax. It's just a thought. People are saying that. People think that some of those whispers that we saw in the teaser trailer, one of them is Rick. I don't believe so. I give you why not, my opinion, my theories, my ideas. I think that makes sense that Rick will not be on the show. But what if the Whisperers are in the movies? Or what if Rick comes back to Alexandria or Hilltop or somewhere in the movies? The movies don't have to be so far away, even though the word is that they're going to be the wider world perspective of it. Yeah. So, yeah, Boyd. For me, PPP is pepperoni pizza pie. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can go for one of those. That's actually what I'm going to have later today, for sure. Pepperoni pizza is the way to be. But it's just funny when people get so mad about everything on there too. And it's like life is not that crazy, especially when you talk about The Walking Dead. People are so crazy about RJ. People are so crazy about this, that, it's just, you got to laugh sometimes too. Some people from other areas are just nuts about it. And you're like, I don't know, relax a little bit, But I will not stand for people attacking me, my friends, my people on there too. So the guy that attacked Hector on Instagram, I saw it because I was working at all the craziness was on the trail. I was on lunch and I tried to post some of the pictures and I was working, and I came back and I saw that somebody was attacking Hector and this, and it was into a battle like that too. And I was like, no. The person attacked a PTP, a friend of mine, a subscriber, a person that's awesome in conjunction with everything that we do here, and a valued member to this. So the person also was like, why are you doing this? Why do you support this? Blah, blah, blah. That's it. You're going. See you later. Boom. Blocked them. And I have no problem blocking people. Because if people are going to disrespect me and be rude and put the channel down, put my friends down, curse at people like that too, they're gone. It doesn't make sense. There's no need to do that ever. It's just ridiculous too, for sure. Poison, how do you think the Heath and Jadis tension and relationship will be in the movies? I don't know. That's a great question, because I want to know what, just like everybody, what's going to happen with Jadis and Rick, if Heath's going to be there, if we're going to get a new character, if it's going to be the Commonwealth, if it's going to be London or France, or, kind of a World War Z kind of thing, a boat, the aircraft carrier. I just don't, I know, I'm excited to see how it is. Yeah. Hector, my hero. Yeah. No, I don't like it when people are disrespectful to me, let alone anybody. I am just one of those people that is all about being respectful or just being quiet. If I don't have anything nice to say, I don't say it at all. Sorry, Janet. I just got on a tangent there. I'll check you. Where's your question? Let me get back. Let me backtrack. Janet. There you are. Q&A, Brian. The teasers that came out last week show a whisper that has a lot of people wondering if it's Negan. What do you think? So, yeah, that's the other question I was going to bring up. I think you're talking about the first one that debuted on Facebook. So it's a whisper and then 3 walkers. I don't think they're whispers. I just think it was the one whisper. But I think that the person that we're looking at is Negan or Daryl, but it makes more sense to be Negan. And if you look at the teaser trailer that came out about, what was it? It was Alpha, Beta, and it's the cover. And you see the whispers there, and they're doing their little walk. And why are they walking so, like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. They're like walking around like they're in a musical or something, and like they're like the West Side Story, and they're like walking, and they're like, oh, we can stop dancing around. So, but you look at the one whisper in the back corner. He's in the back right or back left, however you look at the picture, and he's back there, and you can see the shirt, and it's ripped, and it's there, but it looks different to me. It looks like a different face. It looks like a different person. So is it a little shorter, a little taller? I don't know, but it would be kind of weird if they were just showing another whisper in that little teaser trailer that they had with the 3 walkers and the one whisperer walking. Why wouldn't they just show Beta doing something? That would be a better teaser if you saw Beta. And then we saw Alpha, Beta, and the other whisperers there too. And they were probably going to the Hilltop to go after Lydia. So I don't know what it would be. I think it's a different person. I think maybe Negan takes that person's skin, their walker skin, or that person dies and they take it and they give it to Negan, or does Negan kill that whisperer and goes in there too? What if Daryl and Negan also go infiltrate the camp? It's just not Daryl. But I'm excited to find out, because I know the word is that Daryl goes in after Henry because Henry goes rogue and goes to check after Lydia. And does he really like Lydia? It's like, is he like that trying to have a relationship, or he's like, Lydia, I love you? It's like, you just met her. Because it didn't work out with Enid, because Enid was with Alden. So you're like, Lydia, it's like young love, teenage love, like he's going after Lydia. Like, I don't know, but Daryl is going to help Henry, and Carol and Michonne are supposed to get captured, and I'm just excited to see how it goes down, because it should be pretty awesome. Boyd, do you know when we will get the season 9B trailer for The Walking Dead? I don't know if we'll get another one. I know we got the big trailer at the end of 908, and we just had the recent teaser. But if we're 4 weeks out, I would think probably in a week or 2 we should get another little trailer. I'm hoping we get another little trailer, but they don't want to give too much away, and I don't want them to give too much away either. I'm excited for 4 weeks away. It'll be here before you know it, for sure. So I'm excited to see how it goes down. As always, it's. I think The Walking Dead is back to being very entertaining. Tutored Walking Dead Q&A. How you think they will kill Rosita as soon as Maggie is back? I don't know, because I want to know who's going to be in the lineup and the Pike lineup for the end of 916, the end of the season. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. Henry is one letter short for, you change out the E for an O. But we'll see what happens with the Pike lineup. That's going to be very telling to see what happens in the end of the season, setting up the Whisperer War and what's going to happen with Negan and Alpha and this and that and the big twists and turns, the remixes for the show. Man, it's going to be awesome and suck at the same time, because once we get February started, we got a couple weeks of episodes, and then we got all of March, and then The Walking Dead's done for the season. Then you got April for Game of Thrones, but that's only 6 episodes. That's 6 weeks. And then we got some movies and stuff going on for that, and then hopefully we'll get Fear the Walking Dead that's entertaining. And I kind of just wish Fear the Walking Dead connected more, so it kind of was that universe all year round. And they really messed up by not wanting to do 3 seasons of anything connecting, because people want The Walking Dead year round. They don't want some knockoff, watered-down version of it, but they'll take it, right? So we'll see how it goes down for sure. Gary Page Q&A, are you worried about Michonne considering she hasn't done her new contract and the success she is having in film? I'm not worried about her film career. If Denai wants to do Walking Dead, if she wants to do big stuff, she can. She can do Walking Dead and movies for sure, especially if she's going to film in Georgia, or continue with Black Panther 2 or whatever other Marvel movies, because they film all that or a lot of it or big chunks of it in Georgia. Pinewood Studios is right there. They've been saying this since Black Panther took off and she was doing this and that. I don't know if she hasn't signed her 3-year contract. Denai Guerrera is a very quiet, personable person, very laid back. She's not a person that wants to put her business out there. She's very reserved. Norman Reedus, he'll tell you everything. Melissa McBride, I guess she's on the other side that they signed her 3-year contracts. I think that they really want to have Michonne be a staple of the show for a long time, if not the rest of the series. You have to pay them big bucks, but it's got to be tough to film a character and for so long. I mean, Michonne's been around since season 3, and we're going on season 9, season 10. So, I mean, that's a long time, and I think Denai Guerrera wants to do big things outside of it. But if the show lost Michonne, that's my favorite character. I don't know. I don't know how they would do it, what they would do, but hopefully she'll sign the contract. Maybe she does it for 2 years and not 3 or something. I don't know. But we got to get season 10 in the books, and hopefully people get on the contracts for it. But they'll start filming end of April, early May, and we'll see what happens for sure. Nicola, the Avenger Q&A. Do you think that Negan still has his injury from the season 8 finale? Not by now. I mean, he should be healed up. That was 1.5 years, 6 years. So 7.5 years total. He should be good to go. So, Tudor Negan, you know how he got that scar in comics? What do you mean, Tudor? Just explain it to me, I guess. But I'm excited for the future of the show, and I think everybody is too. And The Walking Dead is the biggest thing on AMC since Breaking Bad. I mean, Breaking Bad was a huge show, but that was only 5 seasons. The Walking Dead is coming up on double the seasons of Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul is pretty good. We're probably going to get a Breaking Bad movie. We're getting Walking Dead movies, and I guess they're coming to AMC. So I just hope it doesn't go to premiere, and you have to have that service to watch the movies. If not, you have to watch them early or something, because when you watch stuff early, people are going to spoil stuff. People are going to bring it out, and they're going to say this and there as well. And it's one of those things that The Walking Dead, I hate it when people watch movies and stuff early, because it's like, or they'll watch it as like a days before it comes out to the public. And they're like, yeah, the scene, the post-credit scene of Venom, and it didn't even come out to see yet. And you're like, you're breaking that down? People can't even watch the movie yet. What are you doing? It's just kind of crazy to think that. But put the spoiler warnings and all that stuff is all you can do, because people want it and they want it now. And I try to give it the information when I know it, but, I guess society wants it now too. So Hectorito Q&A, what's your pick to win the Super Bowl? I got the Rams and or the Saints. I think whoever wins the NFC could win. If the Chiefs get their act together, they'll be dangerous, but I wouldn't mind the Chiefs or the Rams or the Saints winning it, but my money's on the Rams. Literally, I have a bet in at the beginning of the season. I think it's like the third week of the season. They have the better odds that I thought. So I'll hopefully win a little money if the Rams win it all. So I would want the Rams to win it all for sure. Valentine's Borowski Q&A, is it worth it reading the comics? Well, if you like the comics, if you like doing that, I like it because I want to stay up to date of the show and the comics and see where we're at. And going back to read the comics is kind of cool to see the differences. And I would recommend getting the compendiums. That's the best, cheapest way to do it. There's 1, 2, and 3 right now. I would assume number 4 is going to be coming out sometime, maybe the end of the year or somewhere. But number 1, 2, and 3, I'm reading 3, over the break a little bit to kind of get up on there what is there, and you can see the Whisper arc and a lot of stuff there too for sure. The Watchful and Harmonious subscriber, does anyone know what Andrew Lincoln's next role is besides Rick in the Walking Dead movies? I don't know. I don't know what else Rick is signed on for, because if he's signed on for 3 more movies, I don't know if and he's going to direct an episode of season 10 of The Walking Dead. That's time. You got to have at least 3-4 months. And I thought you were going to be with your kids and your family on there too. You're going to be 3-4 months with a movie. So if you're filming the Walking Dead movie, that's 3 months. Then you're going to direct an episode. That's 2 weeks. So we're talking about roughly 4 months there. I guess you could do it, but I don't know what they're going to do. That's a good question though about Andrew Lincoln's roles outside of The Walking Dead. Kimberly G Q&A, for a long time I have been thinking that Alpha and Sherry are sisters. Do you think that's possible? I guess anything is possible, and the show can do whatever they want, little twists and turns, but I just don't see a connection with Alpha and Sherry. That would be kind of cool if that was, because of the whole affinity symbol, and I don't know if there's going to be a thing of that, but they can do what they can do on the show. I don't know if we'll ever see Sherry again. There's been no word if we'll see Sherry. There's been some word about possibly with Dwight, but I talked about that in a video that not a lot of people watch for some reason, but there's some great information in there. So, but Zeke Q&A, do you think Rick will return in the final season? I don't think he returns to the show. He could if they want to break it down a little bit. Maybe it's the final episode or something, he comes back, or maybe they go there and they're on their way back. So I think, do you think The Walking Dead's going to have a happy ending? A good quality ending where everyone's like, we're going to live in Alexandria forever. I doubt it, right? I don't think it's going to be one of those things where people are going to be like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see Game of Thrones having the big, nice storybook ending, and The Walking Dead as well. I don't think that as well, for sure. Let me see if I'm missing anybody's questions on there too. Do you see a romantic interest for Negan in the near future? I don't think so. I don't think that's ever going to happen because of the whole... we'll see about Lucille. Maybe he gets Lucille back. Maybe he doesn't. But I would think that he's got to get Lucille back, right? So you have to see Negan be reunited with Lucille, Michonne and Judith be reunited with Rick. It has to be some big things. This Daryl reunited with Rick as well. It has to happen for sure, right? I mean, I would want to see that. I would think that The Walking Dead has to give us some fan service things. If not, then... Because I don't know what fan service moments they've really given us. Season 7 really wasn't fan service, except for the moment when Daryl got out and they got reunited, and then it took forever for that, and then they came back, and, it just really wasn't a thing. Tudor... Q&A, you think Negan could take Andrea's comic death protecting Judith? I don't see him ever being a member of the Corps. They already adapted his comic ending twice with Dwight and Maggie. So I think so. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if Andrea's comic death is going to happen to Negan. I doubt it would happen to Michonne. And I doubt it would happen to Carol. But maybe Tara or somebody gets that if they want to mix it up. If it's going to be the same kind of death of a woman and a woman's death. But protecting Eugene, if that's going to be the way it gets done. But I think someone would want to protect Judith, and if they get bit because of that, would that be the ultimate redemption if Negan saves Judith? Because I think Judith's going to be a fan favorite. she was really like a nothing character. She was just, background character and something to drive people to do certain things. But I think that Judith, I already love the character now. Older Judith is some character that I want to be. If there's like a time jump where Judith's like 17, so a 7-year time jump, which would be crazy of all this time and this and Rick's over there and how come Rick can't come back, if she kind of just develops into a bigger character, because she's 10 years old. Can a 10-year-old be a badass? Probably not a badass, but it could be a character that we like, we enjoy, we can have some big moments, but I don't know. But we'll see. Hopefully we get a lot of big things for that. Travis, question, what if Lucille has been destroyed and it becomes something they use to evolve Negan into a person to where he starts feeling like he needs people like our survivors? Well, he doesn't need to have Lucille destroyed for that. Negan knows the power of people. He knows that whether you like him or not, he was a smart leader, a good leader for the sanctuary, because the sanctuary wasn't growing stuff. It wasn't the best area for crops like Hilltop is. But he kind of stole things and took things and scared people. That kept people alive and kept them in a lot of power, for sure. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but he's got to do something big. If it's the thing with Alpha, we'll see. Janet, Brian, the fan service moment I need is some sort of closure with Walker Eric. I hear you on that, but that's just so long away. Like, if you think about it, that happened during the war, season 8, and then all that happened, and then a year and a half went by, still no Eric. 6 years went by, still no Eric. Maybe we see that in the flashback between the year and a half to 6 year time jump, Walker Eric. But I feel you on that. I want to see Walker Eric again, and I want Aaron to see Walker Eric. Aaron's got to be connected with that. That has to happen, right? If Morales went away and came back, he was a living character. But Eric could live. He could live. A Walker Eric could live, for sure. Jeffrey Vanderhoof, or Q&A, with humans being nearly more dangerous than walkers, do you think that the future of The Walking Dead are groups of people living isolated communities with walls over the country? Jeffrey, that's a good question, but I think that the walkers dynamic is the easy way to get rid of people, easy way to kill people. They'll always be a problem, they'll always be a big thing. The Walking Dead is it the people that are the Walking Dead? Is it the zombies that are the Walking Dead? I just think it's the zombies will always be there, even though they should have the zombies should be starting to get down, right? They should start to dwindle down a little bit. I don't know how they got so many more walkers. I mean, what would be the decay rate of a walker? How many days would it take? 6 months, a year? Well, it's been a year and a half, and where'd all those new walkers come from? Without a food supply, I guess water too. I mean, the human body needs water. The zombies would start to be down. But yes, Evan Water, True Detective is where you'll find out about the premiere date of Game of Thrones. The premiere date, when it'll be back in April. So I know a lot of people will be watching that. Maybe it's before the episode. If they were smart, it'll be at the end of the episode, but I'm sure it'll spread like wildfire when Game of Thrones is coming back. Nicola, the Avenger, do you think Negan will break Lucille like in the comics while trying to kill Beta? We got to see something like that, right? We got to see a big fight scene with Beta. I like the Negan Beta fight, or Negan, the Daryl Beta, can't talk, Daryl Beta fight scene, but I want Negan to intervene with that too, because we want to see Negan and Beta fight. I know I want to see, right? Yeah, we don't need any loose ends, that's for sure, right? But I'm just trying to get back on these questions that was jumping around a little bit, so sorry if I missed anything there. I'm not trying to do that for sure, but Hector Q&A, I'm going to kill you, not today, not tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. You think he's going to hold that grudge? Well, Rick's not there. There's no Rick-Negan dynamic. So I think Negan had his chance to do that, and I wonder if Negan knows what's up with Rick. You know, what's happened with all that. Because has anybody told him? Has he not seen Rick? So he's like, where's Rick at? And Michonne's like, shut up. I don't know, or Father Gabriel didn't tell him. So, but I know a lot of people. What you think happened to Morgan? Well, Morgan's a Fear the Walking Dead, so he's going to eventually come back potentially. I don't think so, but we'll see what happens if he ever comes back around on the show. It's just going to suck that Morgan potentially will never see Rick again. I would want to see them. I would want to see that too, for sure. But there's been a lot of talk of the whispers. If one of them's Heath, one of them's Dwayne, Morgan's son. That would be crazy if, well, what was Morgan seeing then? Like Morgan said that his wife latched onto Dwayne and Dwayne got killed. So what did Morgan see? Did he not see that? That's what made Morgan go crazy. So if Dwayne comes back around, that's a loose end. That's stupid. That's dumb in my eyes. I don't want to see that. But there's been some IMDb that you'll see Dwayne and Dwight and this and the back half on there too. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Mark Q&A, Brad, was Negan wearing his jacket and boots at the sanctuary? I don't think so. It's hard to tell to see what it is. I can't really tell what he was actually wearing. The angle, because it comes up with TWD in his picture there, but he's back at the sanctuary. So I think he's got like a pull stick or something. I don't know, but I'm not sure what he's actually wearing in that. It's hard to tell, but he could. Like where has his pants, his boots, his leather jacket, his scarf been? Is Beta wearing Negan's scarf? Does Beta take Daryl's knives, and that's how he gets? So I don't know. Julia QA, Brian, do you think our group will get any Rick intel? That could be how the end of season 9 happens, where something comes over the radio. Or it's the early part of season 10, and it takes all season for that to happen. But I think the radio, they highlighted it, they amplified the signal. Now they know they can reach more places with it. I don't know if you can reach outside the country, but I would assume something's coming over the radio, whether it's Father G or Eugene or Rosita get that message. But that's pretty interesting to see that. And I think they set that up pretty good for sure. But 4 weeks away, guys, it feels like forever, but we already had so much time go by. The Walking Dead hasn't been on for a long time. Before you know it, it'll be February, and then we'll be 9 days away and 10 days away, and then it'll be this weekend, and they're like, yeah. But we'll be continuing with our live streams on the Sundays from now. Walking Dead will return a couple weeks, and then we'll have to miss one Sunday in February. And then when The Walking Dead's back in session, we'll definitely continue with the great content. I might do a little bit more with it when Game of Thrones is in on television. If we do that, I'll talk a little about Fear the Walking Dead. I'll continue with the live streams on there too, so not for a while. But yeah, guys, I'm glad you guys are taking part in the live streams, being a part of it, just being, just awesome subscribers, friends, fans, PT peeps, and Walking Dead family for sure. I'm definitely excited. All right, Chaplain Co. I asked 3 questions. This guy didn't answer 1. LOL. Is that your passive aggressive LOL? I just love when people do that. So, all right, Chaplain, if I see one here, Q&A, Rick technically started all this with Negan. LOL, the only reside why we side with Rick is because the show is from his point of view. Would you agree? Well, I agree with Rick because Rick is the main antagonist, just like Tony Soprano is the main antagonist of Sopranos, so you follow that for the main thing. Is that the only reason? Not really. That would be kind of an interesting parallel universe if you saw the perspective of if we followed it from Negan. That would be kind of cool, but I don't know. They could do a Negan show. I know a lot of people like Negan, so there you go. I answered one of your 3 questions. LOL. Finally. I know. It's tough. Sorry, I have a bunch of people asking a bunch of questions and on there too for it. So I know that, Rick being the main character of the show from the very beginning, how could you not like that guy? How could you not do that too, for sure? I think that Daryl, Rick, and the Atlanta group are who we followed. So why wouldn't we like them too? Negan brings some different things to the table, but it's a little much. It's a little over the top, but it's a good question because we don't know the answer and we'll never know the answer for sure of that because Daryl Negan is a character that we came into later. If you liked Glenn, there's no way you're going to like Negan. That's for sure. But the saviors are over the top. They're just a little too much. They're just bullies. They take what they want. But yeah, again, we follow who we are, and we're with these characters, so we get to like them, for sure. Negan's Mayo Sandwich Q&A, Brian, do you think Rosita will become pregnant in the second half? Could. If they're going to stick to the comic kind of situation, I could see that happening. I would think that comes there too, especially if they're going to get rid of that character, and then you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she was pregnant. How many seasons The Walking Dead has left in terms of popularity? Actors decline. I'd probably go with 10, 11, 12. Probably ends after season 12. I think that's a great run, a magical run, and then they take a break, and then maybe gets rebooted and brought back. Negan, why are you so comics? Why are you so comics-based? Bias. Well, Negan is definitely a better character in the comics because you can get away with more in the comics versus the show. He's just a better portrayal there because you don't have to worry about cursing and this and that. It's a paper versus television. So I think he's a better thing because he can get away with more for that. Lee Bunker Q&A, you think spoilers have helped or hurt the franchise? Probably hurt the franchise more than it helped. But, the spoilers, knowing information still draws people to see it. But I think the spoilers really got going season 5, season 6, season 7 for sure. But season 7 was so poorly written and so it's hard to say that we lost major characters, so we don't know. You will never be able to tell if the spoilers really killed the show like that because of us losing so many characters in season 7, but season 6 and season 7, the spoilers were so big time. For sure, they were spreading like wildfire. I remember the Spoiling Dead fans had so many people go into their Facebook page that they had to stop it and shut it down, and it was just crazy, and they were getting sued allegedly or something. I think it was just going around that they had to change their ways what they were doing of putting stuff up, and it was just crazy. It was spreading so much. Yeah, I would not want to see the Joker's game. I would not want to see Negan kill Aaron. I want Aaron to be around for a long time. He's definitely the comic Rick portrayal. Yeah, I know, Travis. Me too. I like spoilers. I like finding out information. I love spoilers and getting information. I could stop going to the things, but having the chance to watch and get information like that is pretty awesome too. So, Chaplin. I love Rick and group, and I'm saying is, you're a close viewer. Rick started completely. Negan didn't even know who Rick was. They started. So, well, technically, the Saviors in the Road started it. They were going to kill one of Daryl, Abraham, or Sasha. So they kind of started it, but then they got rid of him. So you could say that's the initial start of it, too. Do you think Negan will help Alexandra and Hilltop? I hope so. I don't know if they helps them like that. He might help the group with the Whispers, but Negan has to do something heroic and epic to bring some good portrayal for it. Do a couple more questions, and then I got to get this Sunday rolling. Is Henry really going to die, Nick Jones? I don't know. We'll have to watch and see. Is it 100% confirmed? Definitely not. But I think it's a highly likely possibility that Henry gets taken out. What if Dog gonna have the spiked head? I don't think Dog. That would be terrible if you kill a dog and Dog gets killed. I don't know, but if Daryl's gonna be around for a while, so does Dog, right? Maybe Dog does get killed, and that's what takes him off the deep end. He's like, I'm dark and I want to avenge Dog's death. Dog the bounty hunter. No, but. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me this Sunday, January 13th, 2019. So just to take a big thing, book series is going strong. Got 8 books out right now. We have the big thing going for it. We'll have book 9 out in February on there too. We got Hector, Darlene, and Giles Jr. in the house on there too. Maybe they stay alive. Maybe they don't. Hopefully they do. But hopefully we'll have you guys checking out the series for that. We'll have many more chats going strong for it. Thank you guys for taking the time. I apologize if I missed your questions. Just a lot of people asking a lot of top chats, plus the stuff I want to talk about. Just a lot going on with that. But thank you guys for being here. Sunday, January 13th, 2019. Remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, and belief and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, and as always, tell them, Daryl, thank you. Thank you guys for watching.